Hey guys, it's WooGs here. Just making another video for the jabs on Rathma. I had recently uploaded the aura kill video. I just kind of wanted to show more or less what I'm using now to farm tier 2. Just maybe talk about a few things just to kind of guide people into farming tier 2. If they're using pokes on, because it's a little bit different than what I was doing in the aura kill. As you see here, I generally skip all the ads here. They're kind of just frustrating to deal with. So I don't really like to slowly move through it, and if you're doing a bunch of them, it's really annoying. You can see here, just it's kind of just chaos. I don't know, I don't really enjoy it on the jobs on, so I just kind of run through. You don't need many pots at all. You can actually just do a belt for the men down phase. As you'll see here, I do inner sight, and then once I start hitting him there, his health just immediately goes down. So you don't need any antidotes either for this phase. If you once you have good damage, like you'll see here. I would always bring them in, just in case. I bring one because I kind of like to save it for T3, as you'll see. But you see here, he basically never gets to spawn his Poison Nova. He will always immediately phase out. And what you want to do is just work on the golems here, and just keep an eye on the spires. It takes about 2 jab sequences to kill a golem, so you just kind of want to run around, kill those, and then just dodge the spires. So just gotta be moving out. So you don't really need to be watching men down at all. I thought it was a golem phase there, as you see, and still will have enough damage so he doesn't go through his poison nova. You don't really need to be watching men down, so I think you kind of can just watch the spires. Is a good way to make sure you don't get chunked here. You probably won't die in any case, but it's kind of worth getting some good practice. You don't want to get hit by 3 or 4 of them because it's quite dangerous. But you'll see here, I mean, this is light work, this phase. Once you get used to it and you have good enough gear, it's not a problem at all. And what are the gear changes? We'll show them at the end, but the big difference, I would say, is that I'm using my new Stone Raven, which is 6-socketed ethereal with EDIS jewels inside, and Zod, of course, to hit that 168 breakpoint. It's not mandatory, but I kind of wanted to, I had the gear to do it. Now, I would only recommend doing that if you also have some 230 PLR gloves or 230 gloves and can get PLR elsewhere, because it's not worth worth it if you have to give up some other slots. I think you really want health in this build. You see here we're at 3,400 health, and you'll see P3 can be a little bit dangerous at times. So definitely worry about that. The other thing I would strongly recommend is only worry about damage in your Stone Raven. Every other piece of gear, your amulets, and your armor, and everything else, just only worry about stats, life, max res, etc. Your damage on the Stone Raven is all you need. And since Jab and Javelin and Spearmaster give you so much ED percentage, having ED on your armor gives you basically no benefit. So just look for armor that has health, a bunch of sockets, and some res and stuff. Don't really get baited into having damage on your armor, because it's not useful at all, really. Okay, as we get into the Rathma phase, this one again, I didn't inner sight to begin there, just kind of a forgot. You don't really need to do it, just lowers their defense a little bit, which is nice. But at this point, you're just listening for a spear, and then also when the Conjuring Soul comes out to kill. Now that the knights are gone, we have to bring out all the knights. What I do is I'm kind of looking at the knights, but I'm also looking at Rathma. Like, I'm paying a lot of attention to Rathma so you can kind of see the spear, because you might not hear it. And when he makes that noise there, that's when he goes to 3 spear rotation, and you just want to dodge all 3 spears. You can kind of face tank a little bit like that, but make sure if he shoots his spear that you move out of the way, and if it hits you, then move again after, because the trail of fire that it leaves behind, if you get hit by a spear on top of that, you will probably die. You want to take the night phases as slow as you can. Only attack them when it's in a good position. If they're right beside Rathma, don't even bother, just kind of move away. You see that soul's out of bounds, I can't kill him, which is quite annoying. So we want to stay on this side of the arena for a bit. And at this point, you know, you can kind of just damage Rathma again. And see that fire? Now that I got hit, I need to move out of it, because you could get blown up there. You see, I'm taking my time as opposed to jumping right into all those knights. I got caged a little bit far away, but you see the damage I took from that Fizz Knight plus a couple of the Fire Knights. So you do not want to be in a position where you can get speared and hit with the Knights. You'll definitely die. So, and you'll see here I did not use that many pots, and we kind of just face tanked Rathma for the most part. You see we just dodge the spears like that as you hear the noise, but we have a belt full, I mean a cube full still and all those, so you know you can take it very slow. But the key is you want to listen to that like aura, scream sound, whatever it may be for you, and then at that point just move a little bit to the left or right to dodge the spear. You might get hit sometimes even if you think you dodge. There's some desync and such in this fight, so it kind of is what it is there, but um, yeah, that's kind of it. I guess other things to talk about, so health is extremely important. I was farming at about 3.3k and that was okay, but every 100 health feels so much better. So I would really try to aim for 3.3 to 3.4k. You can get up to 3.5, etc. It's pretty reasonable, but you need some pretty good gear for that. I wouldn't really, you know, if we're going for a single kill, you can definitely do much less as you saw in the video, but if you really want to farm it and you're going to do back-to-backs, you're going to need a good amount of life, otherwise you could get in a bad position. How can you get more life? You can honestly drop a lot of jab Grand Charms. I haven't really done it here, but you can drop basically most of them. I mean, I wouldn't, but like you can drop probably 4 or 5 of them and use small charms instead, and those small charms can be a combination of just life and res or life and AR to kind of make up for your AR. Try to aim around the same K. For Rathma, you probably want about 10k is kind of a sweet spot, 10, 11k. So you can drop a lot of Grand Charms for small charms, for res and stuff to fix that, and that will help your overall life. So here we're going to get the inner sight on. We're kind of just watching Rathma at this point. Again, see how we're kind of dodging the spears, but we're holding down attack on Mendeln. Now, Mendeln has done his phase, so we're just going to kill the Conjuring Soul. And we're just trying to dodge stuff here as best as we can. Antidote that P-Nova there. At this point, you want to refill your belt, and then I'm going to clear this Conjuring Soul, of course. So you want everything kind of cleared up, and then attack one of the 2 bosses, and they will spawn the Void Knights. Now that was a bad spot because it was both bosses beside the Void Knights, which is just not good practice to be in, so try to move them away like I did, and then go back towards the Knights. You might take some damage when you do that, but it's much worse than the burst damage you could take from both bosses there. Now you see what I did there is I was attacking the Conjuring Soul, and then kind of moved out of the way, and then back again, because you don't want to get hit by the spears. It's really important to keep dodging that. So here I took a lot of damage here. What I'm going to do is probably move to the bottom, reset my pots a little bit, and then go back at the Knights, because we had Rathma teleporting right near the Knights, which is not what you want at all. We hear the 3 animation. I can't kill this guy. I thought I could. Just unfortunate position he is in. This one we can though. So we've got 2 night phases down, and we have, you know, full inventory of rejuves left. So at this point, you should really just overpot things. I'm gonna attack him at the end there because I know I'm gonna antidote his P-Nova, and I want the Knights to kind of spawn soon after his phase because I have a full belt. Alright, the Knight spawned right on top of Rathma, so we're going to kind of stay a little bit away until they separate. They kind of did it while I was stuck in a cage, so that worked. We see there, that's a crazy amount of burst you can take from a Sludge Nova and the Knight's hitting you. So what you want to do there is, since you'll see how many pots we have, is you kind of just want to always pot in that situation. Regardless if you think you're going to die or not, you just want to instant pot. And that way, it should go off right after the Sludge hits you and before you get hit by the Knight. You see there, and that's kind of it. So that was a T2 kill there. I think we have, I don't know, maybe 28 pots or something left, which is, you know, a good amount to have, so you could pot a fair bit more. Just kind of showing my stats. So I have 10.7k AR, and I'll go through my gear. Some important things I want to bring up is, you know, I would aim for 90, 90, 90 res if you can, but just kind of get close toward that. I need a few more upgrades to do that. 52 FHR, 11 frame breakpoint. There's the Stone Raven with all the EDIS jewels. I matched them. I don't know. basically 3 jaws and a helm because I got it from the slam. The armor, see here, just stats, just life, FHR, 3 sockets, PLR, and res. For me, it's perfect, exactly what I need. I just Lucianed this one yesterday, which was awesome. You don't really need something that crazy, but since it has half freeze duration, I could use it with a Snow Clash to get my Cannot Be Frozen. Here are my 230 PLR gloves. Um, and then a Nature's, which I could get a better one. I'm trying to find one, but they're a bit rare. And then I have a PLR ring because I can drop the Raven since I got my Cannot Be Frozen from the charms. See here, we have a bunch of jab skillers and lifers, so you could, drop many charms, like I said, for that to kind of fix your res if you don't have an armor like I have. 6 BOCTA and 3 lidless. Um, and then the skills are pretty common. I think I talked about it last time, but I usually go for at least 16 in a soft and a dodge evade. And then I kind of work towards crit damage is what I kind of like. I would really strongly recommend 175 PLR. It makes you be able to ignore the poison ball, which I think is very, very helpful. So kind of go towards that. I'll link my armory, but yeah, cheers guys. Thanks.